everyone, it's Sarah Jean. This is going to be take 5 on this video. I have tried to do this B6 video now 5 times. I tried a couple months ago and I got a phone call in the middle of recording, so it didn't record the second half of the video. And then something else happened the next time. Oh, I think my son came in yelling at me. And so I think I just tried the 4th time just now this morning, and I didn't have my microphone enabled for YouTube. So I have a 10-minute video with no sound. So here we go again. As you notice, this is not a field note size traveler's notebook. A little bit of back history if you're new to my channel. I've been using field notes pocket size for about 5 or 6 years. I started using field notes as my planners and my journals before traveler's notebooks existed for them. Shortly after I started using field notes, the original Midori Traveler's Notebook really blew up here in the United States, and there were Facebook groups for it, the Midori Traveler's Notebook resources group. And I loved the idea, but they only came in, the regular size. Chic Sparrow didn't exist yet, Speckled Fawns didn't exist yet, they weren't Etsy creatives making them yet. So I had an old green leather journal cover from Barnes & Noble that I had for years. I cut it down, I punched some holes in it, I strung some elastic in it, and that was my first pocket-sized traveler's notebook. Fast forward 6 years, everybody makes traveler's notebook covers in an array of beautiful sizes and leathers and colors and everything, as you know. So it was a long journey of me in that size, and the reason I started in that size is I've always wanted to journal. I've always wanted to art journal. And I never could. I would buy these expensive journals, as I said before, and I'd get a couple pages in and not like what I'd written or not like what I'd done. And it wasn't until I started using field notes that I got really comfortable with art journaling, with journaling. It was something about the small pages. They filled up quickly. I didn't feel pressured. If I wanted to do something artistic, it was a small space. It was just very comforting. All of a sudden, in November of this year, I was half asleep laying in bed, and I needed to own a B6. I needed to go bigger for some reason. I don't remember, there wasn't any thought process for it. I hadn't watched any videos regarding the size. It was just something that came to me half asleep. So I went on Chic Sparrow website and I ordered this creme and chocolate. And I love this size. This size is amazing. It's roughly 5 by 7, so it still keeps that nice rectangular aspect ratio. But I love it. I've just progressed enough where I really enjoy more space. So I'm gonna do a quick flip through. I've been in this since November, so I've got 4 inserts in it that are almost all of the way full, which is pretty amazing. I'm not a person that tends to go through inserts super fast, so I'm super happy with that. This leather is amazing. I'm sure most of you have watched reviews on the creme. It's a really, really amazing leather. It scuffs up, but not a ton. This is a classic, but I had stitching. I got brave and bored one day and used a mermaid marker and colored in the stitching. I actually colored in my quote as well because for some reason it hadn't been blackened in, so you couldn't really read it. So I took my bulletproof fountain pen ink and filled that in. This has been a wonderful notebook. It's got nice and chunky because the inserts are almost full. So my style is very free form, and I would say all 4 inserts here are sort of like journaling like inserts. I did put a Target dollar spot pocket there just because it holds stuff, and I liked the little cactusy thing. It's not super functional, but not everything can be super functional. So this first insert is my art journal. It's the one I tried to be artistic in. I haven't decorated the cover obviously fully yet, but this is where I try to be artistic. I try to play with paints. I try to play with different mediums. I tuck stuff in. I do some actual journaling in it, but it's where I try to be a little bit braver, a little bit more artistic, a little bit more colorful, a little bit more messy. I tried to record a little bit of life and some of my own little bits of art, some photos, some drawings, and just there's no rhyme or reason to it. I often start a page with throwing some color on it. I usually do that for a few pages in a row, and then as the days and weeks progress and I get to them, then I just start adding stuff to it. But there's no plan. I don't go in thinking I'm going to do one thing or the other. I just sort of start, which is really what I suggest to most people who are nervous about starting to art journal or starting to journal. And don't don't feel like they can do it or don't know how to do it, just start doing it. And I've said it all the time. Sometimes I really don't like some of the pages, but that doesn't matter, because years from now when I look back at them, I'm like, wow, that, you know, that was really neat. That was really fun. That recorded a space, a time frame in my life, whether I liked aesthetically how it turned out or not. So this one actually has a few more pages that I need to fill in from recent things that we've done. This insert, by the way, is by Chic Sparrow. It's a wonderful insert for art journaling. It's a nice sort of pale cream color. The paper holds up beautifully to watercolors and mermaid markers and glitter, and nothing seems to bleed through, so it's really great for art journaling. Next insert is a Tomoe River paper insert. This is from Paper Penguin on Etsy. This is just my writing journal. So I go through and I smear watercolor or like mermaid markers on the pages, and I just write. This is just for writing. There's no stickers, no washi, no drawing. It's just me writing down my thoughts and getting stuff out of my brain and onto paper. The Tomoe River paper is amazing for watercolors. It crinkles up when you do it, and then you close the book and it just dries out so nice and flat again. It's great, and nothing seems to bleed through this paper. It's so weird. It feels so thin, but just nothing bleeds through it. Nothing. It's great. I love it. And this one's actually almost all the way full. I still have a few more pages that I've already, like I said, I usually pre-color pages for things. But that's been great. That's all I use that one for. This is sort of the main part of my planner, if you want to call it a planner. My style is very freeform. You may call it messy. You may call it unorganized. It's kind of bullet journal, kind of smash book, kind of daily journal. I don't really know what the style is called. It's just what I do. So I usually write the date. Sometimes I'll write things about my day. Sometimes I'll have to-dos written. Sometimes I'll have plans written down that I want to do. I'll just jot things that I already did. I hand draw in my own calendars, which I really, really like. I find that if you are intentionally not perfect, you're a lot happier with the results. I've really been loving handwriting my journals. I put lists in here, I take notes in here, photos, little tidbits from my day, little tidbits from my life. Sometimes there's receipts or business cards, or I practice lettering. Sometimes I put a little bit of art stuff in here. This is really where, if I want to play with my stickers and use my stickers, this is where they go. And yeah, this sort of just becomes a little record of my life, of my couple of months. The calendar, the hand-drawn calendar is really great for forward planning. So I put, you know, appointments and whatnot on those days. And then when I get to that page, I'll maybe write a little bit more about that day. But super simple, super free form. Got a gift card for Valentine's Day, so I put it in there. This was a little thing out of a toy box I got for my kids. Put it in there. It just, there's really no rhyme or reason. And it ends up being really bright and colorful and a little crazy, and I really enjoy it. I really like it. And that's almost full. I'm going to be doing basically the same thing for this month. Final insert is my commonplace notebook. It's also a Tomoe River insert from Paper Penguin on Etsy. This just has everything else. If I take notes on something, if a recipe, if I'm studying anything, researching anything, that goes in here. If I'm watching a TV show or reading a book, notes go in here. It's basically just a note keeper. I started watching Stranger Things, and so I started taking notes. And by the way, that show is so good. I just don't have time to watch television, though. There's so many other things I want to be doing. It's a great show, though. But I was taking notes like a dork on it. I put some of my poetry in here that I'd written quite a few years ago, a healthy diet plan. The pages that are clipped together, I was in jury duty from most of November and December of this year. And I'm a big Uber dork, and so I took notes and I put those in here. These are all camera notes. I was thinking about buying a DSLR camera for myself for this year because I really want to make photography as a focus and hopefully a business for myself. And then my husband ended up surprising me with an amazing camera for Christmas, but I was, you know, taking notes and looking at costs. And then I've got some photo story ideas that I jotted down in here, a packing list for a big trip to Yellowstone this summer, and just notes on anything where I need to write down something. This is what goes in here. Oop, folded. And I love that. I love that everything can go in there and it's sort of organized, but not organized, but there's a place for it. And that also stays a little bit colorful, but there's no stickers, there's no washi. It's just more for function. And then I have another Target pocket back here with just a photo put in it that I was eventually going to use in one of my inserts. So this is how I do traveler's notebooks. It's very free form. There's not really much rhyme or reason. It works for me. I guess it works how my brain works. It's good enough. I know some people have to have very like regimented schedules, and I'm, I guess, sort of lucky in the sense where I don't. I just, have occasional appointments here and there, but that's about it. The B6 is amazing. I love this size. I don't see myself ever going back smaller. I think that I've just reached that point where I need the more space. I've been using this since November. I did recently acquire this, which is a Chic Sparrow Odyssey Calypso, which is a lovely, lovely purpley color, like a deeper purple color, almost like a plum, but then like in full-on sunlight, it sort of almost takes on like a little bit of a fuchsia tone. It is gorgeous. I've only had it for a few days and I've already rolled it and moisturized it and scratched it and scuffed it. So I'm very excited to be using this going forward. Not that I don't love the crim. I just, sometimes you need something new. I know you guys understand. Just got the drops on it. Didn't get any of the cup rings, but I'm really excited because you guys know I love the Darcy leather. So I'm really excited to see this get aged and marked. I actually dropped some water on it and took it out a little bit in the rain the other day, so I've already got some other sort of like actual water markings on it. The setup's going to be basically the same though, the same 4 inserts, although I do have, these are the Field Notes Signature Series. They're just a little bit smaller than a B6 insert. I could put them on the strings if I wanted to, but I got this in a deluxe, and I found that slipping this into the front pocket and then slipping one into the back secretarial pocket meant that my strings weren't being overly used and that they just fit really nicely. And so the 2 extra inserts are sort of a spiritual notebook, so Bible reading stuff, spells, witchy poo stuff, horoscopes, tarot cards, everything spiritual is going to go into this one. And then the last one is self-care. Self-care? Self-care. So diet stuff, meditation stuff, positive affirmations, anything that's me focusing on me and being mentally healthy and physically well is going to go in there. And then the other inserts are the same, except this time for my writing journal, I'm using onion skin. This is also from Paper Penguin Co. I'm super excited about the onion skin because it's very thin. It's almost like tracing paper. And so I don't know if you can tell, but it ghosts through, which I like because this is my writing journal and I write in cursive when I journal, and with it ghosting through, it actually makes it a little bit harder for other people to read. I'm also going to use watercolor on this paper. I did a video on the Traveler's Notebook, and I used watercolor on the onion skin paper insert in that notebook, and the watercolor completely shows through to the other side, and I think that's going to look really pretty and once again make it even harder for someone else to read. So that's going to be fun. This insert, as you can tell, is going to be my daily. It's got my same type of calendar style. This is going to be my art journal, which I have not even started yet. And then this is going to be my, this is my self-care journal. What's this one for then? Oh, this is my commonplace. This is going to be my commonplace. This life notebook is going to be my self-care. By the way, these life notebooks are phenomenal. The paper is a dream to draw on, to write on, to use the jelly roller gel pens on. It's like buttery smooth. I got these on Amazon. You can also get them, or no, did I get them? You can also get them on Jet Pens, I believe. Anyways, look up the Life notebooks. They are fantastic. The paper is wonderful. So this is what I'm using forward, but the setup's going to be basically the same. So I'll try to do an updated video. Let me know what you guys want to see, what you guys want to hear from me. If you have any comments, I'm really sorry this took so long to get out, although I am excited that because I really lived in this for 4 months that I had a lot more content to show you than as if it was just a brand new notebook that was set up with blank inserts. If you have any questions, comments, thoughts, if you do a similar sort of freestyle style, let me know. I hope you guys are all having an amazing day. Fingers crossed that this actually recorded properly, and I will talk to you guys later. Bye!